Howdy, chaps. If anybody's there. First ever live stream attempt. Don't know if this is going to work or not. Doubt anybody's going to be watching. "18 seconds live." Who knows? Oh, there's two people. Hey, someone called Kenny's Garage. You must have missed this one. I did it. Hey, look, there's 9 people. Whoever these people are. Hey, how you doing? Apparently technology has not eluded me. This is so new. Hey, there he is. So we figured out how to live stream at my end, Peter. Hey, Liam. People can watch me for a change. I got a thumbs up. So I think, Peter, if you're watching this, I think we have to Skype together first, and then you link it into a thing on your computer. But I haven't quite figured out how to do that. I'm not on the phone. I'm over here. I can be on the phone. Are you on a phone? No, I'm on a computer. I've figured out how to live stream, but I haven't figured out how to get 2 of them together. 11 people, eh? They're sad, sad people. Well, it does help if people ask questions. You're totally going to badmouth me on there, aren't you?
Me?
Yeah, you. I don't really know what to say. Actually, I did actually just do a video earlier today where I rambled randomly to myself. Oh, here we go. This is interesting. And who, pray tell, is this?
How you going?
Yeah, it's all right.
Oh, good.
Oh, you need to mute. You'll need to mute your end so I don't hear myself twice.
Oh, no, it's me here at twice. I just heard it before.
Yeah. Yeah, but I can hear you. I can hear myself twice through the phone.
Oh. All right. Hey, what are you using? Are you just using the standard YouTube live stream thing?
Yeah, I'm on a laptop right now.
So it must be my internet connection.
Well, I was doing some research. It could actually be your computer being a bit old. You never know.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know. The whole thing gives me the shit. I think it was more to do with the connection on the browser.
You're aware you can hear yourself through this thing, right?
Well, I can. Yeah, I've just moved down. I'm getting more cheesels. I started watching TV, and the older 2 kids cracked the shits because they wanted to watch something. And so Rosie's here. I didn't know they've gone to bed. So Rosie's here, so I might come out and watch TV with her. I'll just hang around and chat for a bit longer. I've had bad luck with chats lately. They're crap.
Yeah, I thought it potentially could be your computer being old.
It's got like an 8-core processor, though. It should be an 8 gig of RAM. I mean, that should be enough.
How old is it?
Oh, it's ancient.
Yeah, that could be some of your problem.
I reckon it's more software. I'm not sure.
There's heaps of research in it, but it's going to take someone with more brain power than both of us combined to actually make this work.
Well, that wouldn't be too hard.
I've got 22 people watching. This is incredible. And somebody's like, ringtone is Spiderbait.
I'm turning the sound down. That's probably a bit easier.
Yeah, everybody's. I don't know. There's not many people asking questions, but yes.
That's funny. They're pretty good to do. If you've got a lot to say, if you haven't, you kind of feel like a bit of a dickhead.
I feel like that on most days anyway, so I don't think there's a bit of a problem. I did a whole 38-minute video of me rambling to myself in the workshop today, but I did it because I didn't know how to do live streams. Now I figured it out. I sort of don't think I need to put that video up.
No, the live streams are really, really good. The people, I've always found they're brilliant, and people are so supportive. It's only when they look around your room you're live streaming from. You've got a brick wall behind us. That's safe.
Yeah, I'm sitting on a couch in front of a laptop and on my lap. So everybody's on my lap right now.
Oh, that feels a bit weird.
Da-da, da,
da. People were saying to me, it's a pity seeing you go like this. Your room's in disarray and, your videos suck.
I don't know. Everybody's house has got their own unique character.
Mine's tidy. My study's just a mess.
Yeah, so so for the people watching me, I am actually live, and I've now got Peter Anderson on the phone. So we're chatting together while being live on my computer.
I've just gone out to the garage. You keep talking if you want. I'm just at the garage for a second.
Yeah, people can ask me questions if they want. This is a great time to do it.
What are you wearing?
Well, depends who's paying.
You notice you can only see the top half. You can't see what he's wearing down below.
Little do they know. Somebody's like, have I done much on the EJ? Yes, I painted some bits of it today. I've now got both headlight rings, the two scuttles, which are the grille inserts where the wipers live, and the steering column bracket is now painted. Because they don't really require any bodywork or rust repair, so there's sandblast, prime, paint, and go.
So you're doing the hard stuff first?
Well, you know how many times you do a resto and you think, oh, crap, all the little bits I haven't done. So I'm doing all the little bits first.
Yeah, that's right.
And there's a ton of paint to take off the car too. So we've stripped the roof, that's in epoxy. Probably, I'd say half the car has been bare metaled and then etched for now. And then we'll wipe that stuff off with a bit of thinners and then epoxy it later.
So why didn't you put epoxy down first?
Because it's a 2-pack, you have to mix it up and then spray it on and mask everything up, and it floats through the air. And
so what's the epoxy? Is that just single pack stuff?
No, the epoxy is Epitech. It's 2-pack.
No. Sorry, what's the etch you use?
Oh, it's just a 1K etch, just to stop it from surface rusting.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Somebody's like, save that for OnlyFans. I have a Patreon. Have you used that sandblast you bought from money? I did. It was garbage. It just didn't work. It was from Bunnings. It cost $50. It was about as good as you could expect. Not very good. Somebody's like, it's like meeting Jesus in person. Okay. Have you had any offers on the XB? None lately because I haven't been driving it. It's out of Rego currently.
Are you on club?
Nah, I play full-blown Rego for that car. I don't care.
Oh, okay.
Well, SA Reg is pretty lax, as you may well know, with the whole, as long as you've got number plates and an engine number, you can register anything.
How much is Rego every year? Because we're paying like $800.
I don't know. I do it for 3 months and don't care.
Yeah.
There's 38 people watching me. That's a lot of people with nothing better to do.
How many have you got? I'm outside.
40 now.
Shit, really?
There's sad people.
Oh, that's good.
I'm sure my missus is going to jump on and say something rude. Keep it G-rated. Keep it G-rated. Keep it G-rated. Do you know why Chev drivers take their dogs with them so they don't have to walk home alone? Ah. Wow, right in the feelings.
Wow, that's really mean, dog.
Chev, Holden, same things. Oh no, I had a '66 Pontiac Parisian. I loved it. It was good. Yeah, somebody's like, you have it easy to get a car roadworthy in Victoria is hard. Do you know how easy it is? I registered the EJ on a computer and didn't go anywhere near a motor reg. Didn't even have to.
Don't you need a roadworthy?
No.
So how do you register?
I had the engine number and the VIN and the chassis number and the rego number, and jumped on the computer, put it in, and boom, easy peasy.
What are the cops like if they see you driving a dilapidated car, though?
Oh, they'll defect you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how do you get out of it? How do you get out of the defect?
Well, you got to take it through a Regency, and you go through a full-blown roadworthy.
Yeah, fair enough.
Hey, bog dust for breakfast. I mentioned your video, your channel in. I did 2 videos today. One was me rambling, and then I did one of painting the headlight rings and stuff. Wasn't very good, but I did mention that I'm not a painter, but he is. He's very good.
Who's that?
Bog dust for breakfast. I don't actually know the chap's name, but he's in the feed.
Oh, okay.
What are you doing on the shed?
Oh, I was just out getting some.
I was out in the shed finding the will to live.
Stick older there. You can't spend any time.
Yeah, I'm just impressed. This is going rather well. His name is Mark. Hey, Mark.
Oh, Mark, yeah.
Mm. It's weird. I'm talking to all these people, but I'm also talking to Peter, so it's kind of a little. No, it's like having 3 conversations at once. Happens all the time.
Oh, good.
Thomas, how's it going? Have you ever seen AU Falcon memes? Oh, yes. I actually owned an AU Falcon XR8 220 at one point. What a galactic pile of garbage that car was. It was the Series 2. It was actually a Rebel, of all things. That was back when they were worthless. I think I paid $4,000 for it. Mistake.
AUs haven't been, they're not expensive anyway, are they?
They are now. Anything AU XR8 related, you're paying through the nose.
Really? My brother's got a ute.
The Utes don't bring the money as the sedans, and I don't quite know why. But I guess it's like, XB sedans are worth more than the Utes, and the wagons are a little bit less than that. They all have their sort of desirable market.
Well, the XWs and XYs like that, but I thought that was just because of the GTs.
Yeah, people can make replicas out of sedans, can't they?
Yeah. Luke Anderson. Hi, Luke. I've got a student called Luke Anderson.
I was wondering who you were talking to. Hi, Uncle Pete.
No,
Are you watching? I'm assuming you're on a computer watching this as well.
Oh, yeah. I'm sort of coming and going. I was in the kitchen before.
So I'm a Holden or a Ford man. I am anything that's going good. Although I'll admit my first car was a Holden, and can you paint my? Can I paint someone's car? Not anytime soon. And no, I don't actually paint for people. I paint for myself, but I tend to steer clear of painting for other people.
Yeah.
I find it too stressful.
Yeah, it is. It's really stressful. Not so much painting, but I've had people ask me to do their cars, and I just kind of can't.
It's painting's a bit of an odd one. Will you buy non-genuine bumper bars for the EJ? Well, at the moment, I've tilted the thing. I don't think I've got a complete front bumper bar at all. So I might actually have to buy a repro one.
Have you had lots of offers on all your EJ stuff yet?
You're a funny man. I've had a lot of people ask me what I'm doing with it.
Oh, really? What was the answer?
It's going to be sitting in a corner until I figure out what's going on.
No.
Although, mind you, I have been taking parts backwards and forwards and just making sure that I've got the bee's knees of everything.
So you're going to handball all the shit to somebody?
More than likely. I don't give people crap. I will give people the bee's knees.
Oh, cool.
No, I don't sell. I try and avoid selling people crap. Usually, what I'll do with a car is I'll buy crap, do it up, and then by the time I'm bored with it because it's perfect, then I'll sell it for way less than it's worth.
Oh, okay. Don't buy. I would like to contribute to your EJ. That's nice, isn't it?
Oh, okay. Yeah. If anybody's got parts, I'm more than. I really want a parcel shelf cover right now, actually. As far as I'm aware, nobody makes them repro. They're like a cardboard, and I had one in my original first EJ, so they're molded to the actual shape of the parcel shelf. So well, they're the shape, and then they kick up at the ends, and they have little feet that hang off the front. Well, it's a folded edge.
What's that, parcel tray?
Yeah, so parcel chef cover.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Changing a starter motor in a 6-cylinder Falcon's pain in the bum. No, it's not. You go in from the front with an extension that's about 30 feet long. No, I'm not even joking. You get the really long, meter-long socket extensions, and you can get to the bolt at the top of the starter motor from basically the air compressor pump. Piece of cake. You take your airbox out of the engine bay, and then you can do your bottom bolt in a 6-cylinder Falcon, say an E-series, like an EB or something, and then you do the top one from the very front of the engine. Because, I mean, we've had a few EB Falcons, and nearly all of them killed starter motors. I don't know why.
It's heat, isn't it?
I would have thought it was drowning them in oil.
Oh, okay.
How's the XD going? Yeah, the XD is September. The XD will get a huge amount of work done. We're probably going to try and finish it and paint it. What do I think of two-stroke bikes? Very little. Don't really. It's not my thing. I don't care. Have you worked for yourself? I think coming up around the 26th of July, I will have worked for myself for 2 years, which is incredible. 47 people. Incredible. This is how. That's how you do them in an AU, yeah. Whoops, my phone's sliding. Now, Peter, you're falling off my chest. Somebody says you need a cuppa.
I'll see if I can do something about that. Hang on a minute.
Somebody says, can I give you a full EJ? I don't need any more.
That's Bryce. He offered me an LC Tirana for $5 or something.
If you had 10K to buy a car that will be worth money in the future, what would you get? I'd buy a VX SS Commodore. Because I saw one of those for sale the other day for $9,000. And it did sell. So SS Commodores, they're going to be worth money in the future. Older ones particularly. If you're talking about a classic car, well, then you won't buy a classic car for under $10,000 that's any good. Yes, I know it's time for an apprentice, but it's all in good time.
Don't you need legally more workers first?
I'm not sure about that. Your fab works. I'm a bumper bar repairer from Perth. Chrome plater. I followed your channel. Oh, okay. Well, I might have to get you to contact me through Graham's Restorations Facebook page, and I might have to send you my bumper bars, or at least bits of them. I know the midsection of the rear bar is actually bent in half. Well, not bent in half. It's not exactly happy. Did you ever buy a VL Turbo? I had a VK Calais at one point. I reckon there's someone who's just popped in with Gaming Tech Bar. I'm an unsuccessful YouTuber. Okay.
Right click it. Just if you want to get rid of him, just right click on it, and you can do that. You can block him. That's how to block him from here.
I'll just click remove.
Yeah. And he'll go away. I got heaps of spam.
Doesn't say. Oh, hang on.
I can report them here, but
Okay. Yeah, I fully expect spam comments and stuff like that. Hey, Phil with the next F Falcon. I have had heaps of them. For the first couple of XFs, I never owned one that hadn't been on fire.
Hang on, your sound's gone. Hang on a second. My dad is looking for a V8 Holden Commodore. Oh.
This is your first stream, sir. Okay, cool. What do you think of Jensen Interceptors? I've never really had anything to do with them. Fuel Burn Media. I like your videos. They're quite good, actually. They're very well done. My videos are garbage. I have no ability to use technology.
Oh.
For a Holden Commodore V8U. Gaming Tech Buy. I have no idea who you are, but I feel like you're on the wrong stream, buddy.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that'll solve that problem. If he was wondering what games I play, I don't really know. Where in Adelaide am I? Well, my workshop's in Lonsdale. He had his XF for 25 years. Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, Fuelburn Media seems to have a nice channel, mate.
He does. I quite enjoyed it. He just said I've got all the ability on the tools. Well, a lot of it's self-taught. Trial and error is a fantastic way to get good at things. I touch my hair a lot, I've noticed.
You've got anxiety.
Oh, really? Live in front of 60 people. Anxiety, you say?
I've been on international for years, fine.
What do I think of Dirty Harry movies? Never watched them, don't care. 20 likes, 20 minutes. That's incredible. It's like a minute. Have you owned a genuine GT, mate? Nope. The closest I got, I owned a genuine XA Superbird, which I guess is a rare car in its own right. These cars you rebuild, how much do people spend on average? Depends what bit you're talking about. If you be more precise, I'll be able to help you. Because to restore a car probably is a very, very expensive pastime. Need some more questions, people. Come on, don't be afraid. Come on down. I try to do a good job. I never profess to be amazing at anything. I'm just okay. I can spot garbage work a mile away. I just posted a car video on your Facebook. Okay, well, I'll have to figure it out when I get back to it. Got a pretty clean and original XB Futura. It's a 250. Should I put an 8 in it? It's super original. Well, it depends what you like. Originality, some people go nuts over originality. I don't care much for it. If the car was super original, unmolested and untouched, and like as if it left the factory the day it was made, possibly I'd leave it alone and just enjoy it. But if it needs to be restored, then have at it. Do whatever you like.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Would you rather a country barn or find an old lady car? Ooh. Well, the XB is a country barn car, and usually they get pretty hammered. I had an EJ that was an old lady's car, and that was rather nice. So either's fine. Mum owns an XF Fairmont with extractors and sports bike. They don't sound offensive. Worst thing in the whole wide world is a V6 Commodore with like a sports exhaust on it. Oh, it's ridiculously original. Yeah. Well, then I'd leave it the hell alone. Unless it's a 6. Well, depends if you want a V8 noise. I mean, I like the V8. If it was my car, I'd probably still put a V8 into it. That's just me. That owns an XF. Has your girlfriend driven 3 on the tree before? No. But she's going to learn. 3 on the tree. It's the way the car is set up.
I'm focusing on dog super.
That's cool. What are you up to, Peter? Are you just watching?
I was editing an XD video. What are you up to, Peter? Are you just watching? Hang on, let's check. Editing an XD video. I was going to leave that in, but the problem with it is I looked at the speedo and I was speeding, so I can't sort of include it.
Apparently you can blur out images in the videos. I've seen it done.
Yeah, you can do it through the YouTube editor.
Ooh,
but
crap.
the camera kept moving.
Okay, hang on. Somebody's just asked me, would you slot an LS and an EH? Probably, because I don't care too much about EHs. What's the worst experience you've had working on a car? Transmission crossmember fell out and pinned my arm underneath the car, and I was on my own. So that was less than fun. Favorite Ford model? I still like the XBs, I think. What's the oldest car that I've worked on? Ooh. I had an FE Holden at one point. That's fairly old. Yes, I did shave my beard off the other day. So, yeah, somebody's going, is this mate? It's just the younger, but no, it's me. I trimmed it off because I actually wanted my respirator to seal on my face.
You don't want cancer.
Oh, people. You see people spraying 2-pack on YouTube. Are you insane? That stuff is bad without a respirator. If you have a respirator, you're fine. But you also really should spray it in a full paint suit with downdraft mask and all that stuff, you know. So, because it can absorb into your skin too. Do you think high classic car prices are sustainable or due to fall? Well, current rate, they keep going up. So, as long as the interest is there, they're going to keep going up. Have you used a TIG? I have, but I don't have one. Dream car. Oh, that's a. At the moment, the car I want to own the most is a VF SSV manual in Regal Peacock Green. But they're a bit of a pipe dream at the moment. They're so expensive. Peter just needs to say he in Mexico and show his speedo. Have you ever seen 69 Ford Galaxy rear taillights on an EJ? No.
Fucking hell.
Hey, what's your language, buddy? What time frame will I set for the EJ? As soon as it's done, it's done. It's all money contingent. I'm going to try and get it done as fast as I can. You can get a car done pretty quick if money is not an option. We're trying. Someone's like, we're trying to do a crossover video with both of us on the screen, but we haven't quite worked out how to do that yet.
Maybe a cross-dressing video.
You hear this, guys? This is your follower. This is your almighty leader. One of us. It was like I was like, there was no comments, and then there was a stack of them. I'm like, oh crap! I had to read them all. Would I buy a Model T? Nope. I use 0.8, and I use what wire and gas do you use for your MIG panel steel? Oh, it's just argon, really. It's gas.
Argon fuel.
Yeah, and I think argon is actually mixed with a bit of carbon dioxide, I think, maybe, or something in it. I don't think it's, but it's mostly argon. And I think when you TIG, you've got to use, like, full argon. I'm not really sure. But I just use 0.8 wire. I've never found a welding difference between the wires. I don't, because, I mean, you can crank a 0.8 welder up really, really high and make a huge blob, or you can crank it all the way down and make a little weld. I don't think the wire size matters at all. It all comes down to how you can handle the welder. Peter does not swear on his channel. Yeah. He's apparently he swears on mine, though.
What was the conversation we were having before? I can't remember.
Well, it's best we leave that off the channel. Would you buy a Valiant Charger? Hell yes, I would. I've driven a Charger. Actually, if you're trying to buy a two-door muscle car, that's probably the cheapest one you can get your hands onto these days.
They're getting up there, though. They're still dear.
Yeah, but they're not like a Falcon Coupe or a Monaro.
No.
For some reason, the Valiants have all been always trailing behind. It's probably because they're a lesser muscle car.
No, they're pretty low.
Yeah. There's a couple of people dropping off. I don't hear much about South Australia in regards of COVID. That's because COVID never comes here. I always used to joke, nothing comes to South Australia, and not even COVID. Yes, we got a couple of cases.
We've got 8 cases at the moment.
Oh, sweet. Apparently there's a case. Carbureted engines or fuel injection? I am happy either way, but I'm quite fond of fuel injection. Picked up a VH Charger XL after playing a show. Yep. Any doing bodywork? Any tips? Well, watch the videos, I guess, and subscribe. Is there any drawbacks using gasless MIGs on a car panel? It's messy, and you don't tend to get very good welds. They always look. A gasless MIG is kind of like an arc welder, just slightly more controlled. It really is.
Well,
Pure argon is used for alloy. Yes, I knew it was something for something. Still crying over chopping up my 351 at ZF. Yes, I would too. But I've wrecked plenty of Falcons, so... Can you do some cooking videos? No, I can't cook for shit. Somebody wants to run a Holly Sniper on a 5.1. My brother's got MSD, Atomic EFI, on his ZH Fairlane, and it's been on there for, well, since this stuff came out. He bought it when he was at Autobahn, and he was the manager there, and he got it cheap. But he put it on his Fairlane the second it was a new thing, and it's been on there forever, and it's never, ever let us down. It makes the car 10 times nicer to drive. So EFI on an old car is actually a good thing, in my opinion.
it's better than when they stick electric motors in them.
Yes. Well, it's also cool because his one can still run the chrome air cleaner too, because it's basically a carburetor with 4 fuel injectors in it, and it sort of looks the same. It doesn't look out of place.
I was looking at the Firetech one, they're grouse.
If I have some spare coin, I'm going to put one of those on the XB.
What are you watching, Rose?
Cut up an XD ESP. We've all been there. I have an 91 EB with an 3.9 single point fuel injection. Oh, yeah. But it doesn't run, which sucks. Probably the fuel pump. Change the fuel pump. You'd probably be surprised. Have you or Peter ever done any work on English cars, like Minis at all? Any easier than... Oh, no, I've worked on some British cars, and I don't like them that much. They tend to have, like, their own sized spanners and tools and nuts and bolts and all sorts of weird stuff.
Control, yeah, pretty standard phone, shit like that.
Yeah, so you got to have, like, another set of tools.
Copper spray. Oh, is he talking about welding?
Yeah, I see you spray a lot of copper spray on your bare. Will it rust in the long run? No, because it's not bare steel. Should you make a restored car a barbecue front car? Depends how rusty the back half was. Whitworth, yes. It's a funny... I got 75 people watching. These people are crazy. If any of you people aren't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. You know you want to. Would you take your car to Bathurst, or you put your EJ back to the grey motor red? No, the EJ is going to go complete. Imagine bone stock original, except pink. We have no life, don't we all? I have no life.
Oh, great.
What do you think of using fish oil wax as a rust repellent? Well, it's better than nothing. Copper and zinc will rust. I've never seen it rust. I mean, I'm sure if you don't put enough of it on, but it's all an experience thing. Yeah, I'd love to put option 52 wheels on if I had them, but they're really expensive, and I really want to run Bathurst Globes on it, actually. I haven't.
Option 52 of those Hustler things, are they?
They're a steel rim with like an alloy center that looks a bit like dragway splats, in my opinion.
Yeah, we're just going Hustler with.
I haven't watched any of your videos yet, buddy. Proud to be crazy. Proud to be cray-cray. I can't believe how well this is working. People are coming in and going, and Mum has Bathurst Globes. That's cool.
Where does she have them?
Do you know what? One of my mates, he's the guy who owns the XD, actually. He had his stuff stored at another mate's place somewhere in Canberra or something, and they had a house fire, and in that pile of stuff that got burnt was a factory Monza Red XE351 manual, and he lost a set of Dick Johnson racing wheels that were owned by Dick Johnson in a house fire. I was like, well, that's gone.
That's terrible.
Well, if you sit on the stuff for too long and something like that happens, well, price you pay for not actually using it. You can sit on the cars all you want, but if they're just shed ornaments, what's the point of owning them? What do I think of hot wires? They're a good looking wheel and they're nice, but painting them sucks. I'm just looking. I have tests done epoxy. Epoxy is the best, but more work. Yes, it is. Is that don't have a life? On a Saturday night watching live videos? Yeah, might be just a tad crazy. Well, you get that on big jobs, don't you? Are you going to do a live a bit later, Peter, or not?
I don't think I'll bother. Oh, you've just disappeared. No, you came back. That's cool.
I've never left. How long till the XB turns into a GT mock-up? Depends how long it takes me to get parts. Late to chat, but hello from WA. It's not late for me. I have no life. Like, I can't sleep, and I'm usually awake till 2 in the morning. So, for me, this is like 12 o'clock in the afternoon.
No, you're not waking up.
Would I prefer a stock? Would I rather a stock 351 or a modified 350?
No, let Mum do it.
Probably go to 350. 351, sorry. Ah, how could I? I mean, I had a 308 in my Pontiac. That sounded cool. Do they do reproduction GT dashes yet on XBs? No, not as far as I'm aware. Keep your swearing to a minimum, would you? I can't believe how well this is going. Do I go for Port or the Crows? I don't follow sport at all. But when we were kids, we followed the Crows. I don't really see the point. It's not. You usually tend to go for stuff you're interested in. I'm not interested in sport. I found you via Peter A. And I found Peter A. when I searched for Wolseley 2480 information. Well, how about that? Do you know I found Peter Anderson via, I don't know, I was looking for Will It Start videos and Junkyard videos, and I found him via his Junkyard 302 video.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I found that quite interesting to watch. And then I was rebuilding my 302, and I watched your Rebuild a 351 video like a million times, and I built mine via your videos.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the AJ videos are great. You're going to get a lot of, you should get a lot of subscribers out of that.
I'm hoping so, because I search EJ Holden and nothing but my videos come up. Like, why isn't there more interest in these old Holdens?
There is. They're interested in the H's, not AJs, I think.
I'm not correct. I like EJs. I think they're better. I just think that's what they were meant to look like. Currently restoring a HQ and have used many videos in a sheet. Yeah, cool. Well, that's what they're there for. The videos were intended to help the people at home. I'm sure you've spoken about it already, but what made you choose pink? Well, I'm always fond of the pink EJs, and it was a car for the missus because she's a Holden nut. And I thought it'd make a really cool colour for a car. And I've only ever seen one pink EJ in person, and they're fairly rare, and finding a factory one is impossible. So, and hell, finding a good EJ at all is very hard these days. What type of paint do you use that sort of stops surface rust months while you're doing? I usually spray etch primer on bare steel just for a short term because it's easy to get and you can get it in a rattle can. But
why did you put the edge down, not the 408 straight on?
Because with the Epitech 408, it's like 2-pack. You got to mix it up, and
that's right.
Yeah, so and you got to wear a respirator with you're supposed to wear a respirator with a rattle can, but there's a lot less if you just want to quickly just cover something up and then come back to it later. And when you spray that 408 or epoxy or Epitech, if it floats in the air, whatever it lands on, it doesn't come off.
Yeah, fair enough.
Any thought on Much Loved AU? Well, I had one, and I didn't like it much. I mentioned that earlier. I'm rushing to get my VL Commodore on the road with me and my dad. Oh, but yeah, that's cool. That's cool. 2018, a bunch of teenagers set my neighbour's shed on fire. It had an SLR 5000. Well, there goes that car. EJ reminds me of 58 Chev base Biscayne. The rear window. Yeah, the old Holdens are very much copy and paste of the American cars. Very much so. Have you watched Rust Bucket Restos? No, but I'll put it in my to remember list. There's 77, 76 people watching now. Crimey. If you guys aren't subscribed, please subscribe. You want to click that? You want to click that subscribe button. It's funny. I put it in the thumbnails. I always put subscribe, but I never remind people because it annoys the living snot out of me. Having people constantly go, maybe you should subscribe. Maybe you should shut the up. I don't know. Another, yeah. So, did the EJ have electric wipers or were they vacuum operated? The EJs were electric, I believe. I don't know if FB and EKs were electric. I think they might be vacuum operated as well. I think the EJs might have been first with electric wipers. I think the AU looks better than the AU 2 and 3. Ooh. I think the AU 3 is actually the best looking one of them if you're going for a stock standard car. I didn't think much of the AU Series 1 grille because apparently that was a throwback to the XY grille, where they're the vertical plastic inserts. I agree about the XA, XD, and EA. FBs were VAC. Yeah, I thought so. I think EJs might have been the first to have electric wipers. Somebody did ask, yeah, if I had a spare one. I've got to still get onto that. Oh no, EK was electric. My bad. And EK was the first with automatics too. I had an FE Holden. That was nice. That was a tritone coloured car actually. It was green on white, which was kind of rare. What are your options on TIG welders repair versus MIG welding? TIG seems... So with MIG welding, it superheats the steel and it's very hard to metal finish. People TIG weld when they want to metal finish stuff because it heats it up altogether. TIG welding is the modern version of oxy welding, if you want to go back far enough, because you're basically making a molten pool and adding filler rod, so you've got, substance, but you're fusing all the steel together at the same time, whereas MIG is superheating one spot and then adding a bit at the same time, so it's a different type of process. Does your grey motor have an option? No. Yeah, grey motors did not come standard with oil filters. That was an option you could add on. No, I am not putting a HR front in the EJ. It's drums all around. Too much Holden talk going on. Well, ask something Ford-related, guys. I don't just know Holdens. It's all about you guys. I'm just responding to you guys. You tell me what to talk about. It's kind of fun, actually. All right, I must do some more of these live streams, actually. These are not offensive, actually.
It's good fun.
Will
I always enjoy with my TIG words.
Will I put an auto in the EJ? No, because an auto will not fit in a manual EJ. Leyland P76. I have never had anything to do with them. I think they're cool. I believe that the Leyland V8 is actually an American design that the Americans sold in the 50s and sold to British Leyland.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. Okay, so you're a Ford guy or a Holden guy? I am either. I don't mind. Were you sad when Ford stopped making the Falcon? Hell yeah. That was a mistake. Holden owners seem to be all talk. I don't know. I've met quite a few Ford people that are all talk as well. I have a V8 P76 Cameron Brown. That's not bad. Yeah, I think the Leyland P76 or the Leyland V8, which I think might have been the same one they put in the MGB, possible. I think that was a direct copy of a Buick V8, I think, maybe.
It was a T15 Buick.
Yeah. But they made it all alloy, I believe.
I think it was as a Buick one anyway, wasn't it?
I thought they were cast steel.
Well, they could have been. I can't remember, but I know that they're the 3.5, 3.9, 4 litre, 4.4. They're all derivatives from that engine.
How would you repair a rear quarter that's kinked to the bottom? I'd straighten it first. Have you kept up, found a helper yet? No, not yet. I'm about to have a cat jump on my lap too in a minute if I'm not careful.
Oh, a bit of pussy.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to give you. When you're on the phone, you're not G-rated, man. Remember, you're technically on YouTube. Have I owned a ZJ or ZK Fairlane? Yes, I have. I had a ZK 6-cylinder fuel injected. It was all right, and I paid $250 for it, and I sold it for $250, and that's all I think they're worth. Even though I think I saw one sell at auction the other day for well over $13,000.
Jesus.
Yeah, I thought, really, that's a pretty average car.
Was it?
No, I don't know what it was. I thought it was a 6. It was nice, but I don't think they're worth that kind of money. They're a box.
So XTs.
Yeah, I always used to say it looked like a 2-year-old design an XD. It's just a box with some circles drawn on it. This live stream could be very upsetting to people.
I'm always careful what I say about because then you find out they've got one.
Would have given you $500. Well, it was a while ago. Yeah, that was a 302 for 13. Yeah, I thought it was a bit extreme. I thought ZK's had Cleveland's in it. Well, you could. I think you could for those because technically they're XD and XE Fairlanes. But ZL might be the XF, which was the V8 was deleted.
Yeah, it's true.
Have you used the new XWXY rear quarters? Not the whole quarters. I've used the lower sections, which are cut from the full quarters, and they're very good. Have you? Yeah. Does anyone know where Ford XBG? Does anyone know where Ford XBGT and GS bonnets are pressed? If there is now, as far as I'm aware, I don't know anybody remaking them. Does anyone know the average price to get a vinyl roof made up? We had a vinyl roof put on the ZH Fairlane. It cost $3,000.
What?
Yeah, we asked for dusk coloured, which was the last one in known existence. So this day and age, you usually can only get white or black vinyl roofs.
God.
Oh, they did a very good job.
$3,000? Are you serious? $3,000?
Yeah, we paid it. Some of that money was for the material, by the way.
Gee. They used to be like $300 to get fitted.
That's my favourite motorbike. I don't like motorbikes. I think if you have a motorbike, you're a temporary citizen, actually, honestly. Well, when you're in a car, you've got metal all the way around. You're on a motorbike. It's just you and the other car that splats you. Yeah, somebody had one done in the 90s for $220. It's not the 90s anymore, buddy. It's 30 years ago. Yeah, so with the vinyl roof, we paid $3,000. It was because we wanted the super rare dusk color, which is that green vinyl, which does not exist anymore. I was willing to pay that. We paid basically it was. I think it was might have been $2,000 for the material and $1,000 to fit. The material was, from what I was told, was unobtainable. They don't make it anymore. They're not going to make it anymore. It's just that was the last lot, and we were like, well, you can't have a ZH Fairlane without a vinyl roof, and it needed a green one. Have you used the GT front guards? I actually had the first pair of reproduction XA GT front guards in South Australia way back in the day when they were first made, and I thought they were a bit average then. The style line on the main crease of the guard almost seems like it's got a flat in the middle of it rather than a peak. I mean, they're all rounded, but like that. But the repro ones are like flat on the top. They didn't really fit around. They did not fit to the door at all.
No.
Yeah, they were fairly average for what they were, especially considering how expensive they were. Mm-hmm. Couldn't you just vinyl spray another colour? No, you can vinyl spray, but nothing beats having the right colour. Have you repaired any merit guards? I had a Pontiac Parisian that was in worse condition than my EJ that I fully restored. And that was, I had to repair everything because, well, you think getting parts for an old Holden is hard. Try find parts for a 66 Parisian. Near impossible. And everything that, I wish I never got that car sandblasted. Woo. Everything was stuffed. So it's good to know I have an XY. Jehovah's that steep $3,000. Yeah, I know. But sometimes it's life.
Yeah, if it's the last piece of a puzzle, there's not much you can do.
Well, I mean, it's just, you just want the. They don't look right without a vinyl roof, those Fairlanes. And you wanted the right colour because like a platinum blue coloured Fairlane with a black vinyl roof or a white vinyl roof looks terrible.
Yeah.
You need to have the green vinyl roof because that car had a dusk interior, dusk vinyl roof, and it was platinum blue. So it looks fantastic. It was actually the same colour as my brother's GXL, which was also platinum blue with a dusk interior and a dusk vinyl roof. The new reproduction fuel tanks look pretty good. What do you think? Well, as far as I'm aware, they're pretty good. That's more than what I'd pay for running gear for a running and driving VL in 2021. Well, if you can get a cheap VL these days, I don't think they exist much anymore. I like the VB VC Commodores because we had one, and it was a 202 4-speed car, and I think they're the prettiest of all that body style. But I would own one of these because there was Hubnut. He did one in the UK. It was I don't really know what the car was, but it had the Commodore front on it, but it was a 2-door, and it was like.
Yeah, that's a Vauxhall Cavalier.
Yeah, it was a weird looking thing, but it looked cool.
I drove one of them around England. They're both good cars, but they've got the Bradley 5 engine.
Yeah. Not sure if it's been asked, but tell us how you got into cars. First restoration. I got into cars thanks to my oldest brother, who is 20 years older than me. Go figure. And he had Valiants and Fords and all sorts of stuff. He had them for ages. And we were playing around in kids. I remember when me and my brother were kids, and we're talking like 5 and 6 years old, hanging out at his place, and my brother had a VF Pacer, and he still has that car to this day. Still not restored. And we used to play in that car, and we were just, that's what we got into. Mum and Dad had MGBs, and Dad an MGTF, and all that stuff. And then we were looking at old cars when we lived in Sydney, and we got to this guy. The yard is still there. It's in Riverstone, New South Wales, and they used to call him the Caveman. And if you look up Riverstone in New South Wales, there's this. Somewhere in the back blocks of Riverstone, there is this yard that's full of cars. And I mean, they're stacked like 6 high. And they're still there. Google Maps is your friend. And he's still there. And it's full of old cars. And we were looking at EHs. And he said, I've got an EJ. They're even better. And he showed us. It took us down this back block. Felt like we were being pulled off to be shot. And there was this EJ sitting in the weeds on its guts. But it was super rust-free. And it was just this bare shell of an EJ with Y-frames and a driveline. And he wanted $300 for it. But at the time, we just weren't quite ready. So when we moved back to Adelaide, I found a wrecking yard in Hackham, which doesn't exist anymore. And in between a HR Premier and a HD Premier next to a tree on wooden blocks was my first car, which was an EJ Holden stripped out. And I paid $300 for that and proceeded to restore it. Because what else do you do when you're 15? Cool story. Nobody's laughing. Oh, God.
You don't let me talk.
So that's my first car. This is not a good camera angle. Sit up here. You can see Peter laying on my chest here. Finally, some Valiant stuff. VF Pacers are great. I actually think they're a very, very nice car, and I think when they're in pristine condition, they're very, very nice. They look bloody nice, actually. I would totally own a Valiant hardtop, as in like the VF VG style, which look like the Dodge Dart, as far as I'm aware. How have you found the new Michigan welder? I bought one on your advice from Total Tools. That's where I got mine from. You run on a 30 amp power point in your shop. The things are... Stop talking, guys. I don't know what power points we run. We have 3-phase in the shop. It's not a really problem, but it is running off a 15 amp power point. I still need wire and gas to take mine. I wish I'd gotten to cars on the 15. Wish I'd gotten to full stop, actually. My first car was an XB Falcon 500. Falcon for $500 in the 90s. Dad was wrecked.
Oh, do you need me?
Do you think panel beating has changed dramatically over the years in skill set? Yes and no. I'm just pulling him away from my face, because whatever he's doing is very loud. God drives a Valiant. Does he just? Have you met him? That's the oldest car I've owned. It was the FE, I reckon, which was a 1956 Holden, I think. You know of the Wolves of GB. They're a mystery gone. No idea. What do you reckon is the best way to get started in these old cars? Buy one. Ridiculous, isn't it? Pick a car you like and don't fall in love with the first one you see. Give me inline 6. Sweet. Pull him away from your face. No, Peter Anderson needs to be nice and close. I'm trying to have him in. I don't know what he's doing at the other end. Oh, yeah. God drives a Valiant because his Holden is broken. He really wants a Ford. What music do I listen to when you're on the road? I have a very, very wide spectrum of music. If you knew what it was, I all kinds of music, from country to R&B to disco to all kinds of stuff.
Nothing good.
Nothing good, apparently.
It's not how it sounds. It's not good.
Rosie, we're coming through these. Oh, this is a live stream. I'm on a live stream.
He's sort of on a live stream.
Yeah, I'm just like watching it. I'm on the phone.
Yeah, he's right here.
I think my daughter's waiting for me to watch telly with her, but she's watching a semi I don't really want to watch.
What happened to the 15-inch Hurricane mags? I still have them, and they're 14-inch Hurricane mags. But I haven't got tires, and they didn't fit real nice. They stuck out. They stuck to the outer edges of the guards. I didn't really like it. I didn't like the way they were looking, so I only ever put a tire on one and then just put it in the boot. Are you into the rotary scene? Nope. I know a mate who is. He just sold an RX. What did he have? An RX3 or an RX4? He sold it for like 65 grand the other day. I was like, oh my god. I watch so many YouTube channels. It's not even funny. I could list them all, but the best way to... I changed my channel settings, so I only have a few there that are in the ones that I follow. But there is so many... obviously follow Peter Anderson, Fat Fords, Don's Tricks, Project Nade.
I like him. He's a great guy.
Don.
Yeah.
He's in New South Wales, I believe. I think.
Yeah, I don't know where he is. Actually, I thought he was down your neck of the woods.
No, I think he's in New South Wales.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah, I think, and Fat Fords, he's in New South Wales too.
I'm not familiar with Fat Fords.
He's good. I think he's going through a bit of personal stuff right now. Yeah, Byron Bay is what somebody's mentioned.
Yeah, we're all going through personal stuff. It's horrible.
Yeah, it's well, I'm not, but anyway, everything's fine here. Do I watch Mighty Car Mods? I used to watch Mighty Car Mods, and I only watch it when they do something interesting. They've been, they do their own thing. They stick with the Jap cars, and only when they do something interesting do I watch them. What happened to Don? He's not on anymore. Oh, I would imagine Don is doing some personal stuff. He's not gone. He just the joys of doing YouTube and life at the same time. And if you don't have anything interesting to film, you generally don't film, do you? Do I watch Cops Cars? I don't think so. That sounds new. There's a lot of new YouTubers popping up, actually. Wow, I've been talking for an hour. I'm still wondering whether or not I should actually... I have the one of me rambling in the workshop today. I don't know if I should bother putting that up now because I figured out how to do this. It seems a moot point now. But I do have a video that I did film today, which is the painting of the couple of odds and ends, which I might edit together and put on. Instead, I generally tend to put up videos whenever the hell they're ready. I don't really care what time, so some people might notice they turn up at stupid o'clock at night. Do I watch Street Machines on YouTube? I watch the guy who does the carnage, as in like Scotty Taylor. But if they do anything else, I don't really care. Apparently somebody wants to know what your daughter wants you to watch.
I think she was watching Big Mouth.
Oh, that show's funny. My missus just went, ugh. I'm like, yeah, okay, it's an acquired taste.
It's foul.
It's interesting, and that's the most politest way I can describe it.
Yeah, it's foul. Yeah. Some of it's just foul.
There's only certain bits that are funny. It's a bit like South Park. I don't actually find it super funny, but there are some hilarious parts.
Yeah, that's like this too, I mean. But it is pretty gross. But she was watching it. She thought it was a great joke.
Well, younger people generally like other things, don't they? Somebody's like, Peter Anderson's good. Yes, he is. Rob Shed. Yes, I also watch him. I also noticed that my subscriber account passed Rob Shed. And yes, I watch Whole Ass Garage. He's hilarious. Yes, I've seen Bush Mechanics. They even did, if you look up on YouTube, you can find the original doco they did, not just the series they did afterwards. And in the Birdwood Motor Museum in Adelaide at the moment is the ZG ZF Fairlane from the show that you can go look at. And they did have a blue EJ in that show where they cut the roof off. They claim it was rust, but they chopped it off with an axe. Yeah, and it's funny because in the added for drama, they're like, oh, the rear crossmember fell out. But if you know EJ Holdens, you know that the rear transmission is not held up by a crossmember. The gearbox on an EJ Holden literally swings in the breeze, hanging off the back of the motor. Nothing holds it up.
That's bizarre.
I'll ask for you. Did you finish Peter's guards? No, they're not done yet. They're in Epitech drawing at the moment. Do you do XB sedans? I have one that needs rust. You're going to have to get in line, buddy. There is a long list. Time of day, a video blends in which taken into account. Yeah. Some of my videos do really well. The making the GT bonnet one, I thought that went fantastically well. I was very happy to get those scoops.
How many views did you get?
I think that video might be nudging 5,000 views, actually.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's good for a little channel like mine.
That's good anyway. That's a good number.
Fluked your live chat. Hey! You do see the occasional regular commenter pop up, so that's good. I like them. Rob Shed, he does some good stuff. I believe he's doing a coupe that might even have an AU Falcon rear end in it, actually, with the chassis rails and everything. Told me the best Holden is the one on the side of the road. Is that the one at the dealership with the price tag that says better than Ford? I don't pick Holdens. I just, when you have your first car, you fall in love with it and you tend to stick with it. And I can't get EJ Holdens out of my blood. Probably quite literally.
But he's certainly got a few pounds there.
Ah, yes.
You
Yeah.
got to be stop being a meanie and sell them off.
Yes. Well, I'll finish my car first and then get rid of what's left. That's better.
That's very considerate.
Yeah. What do you do for scoops for the customer who had this? What would you do for scoops for a customer who had a stock bonnet? I'd probably chase down some. Well,
Buy a couple of Bunnings letterboxes and stitch those in.
I did think about you could potentially get one of those Mark I Mustang bonnet scoops and cut the metal out of that, but you can buy the fiberglass copy of the XB scoops. They never quite look right though. I'm hearing some weird noises coming through the phone.
I'm just with the dog.
Well, you do need to get out.
Yeah, well, you know.
As I say, the classic beggars can't be choosers.
Hey, I'm not allowed to swear here, so I'm just like.
I'm not swearing.
That was the response I was thinking.
First
I
can.
would have wanted to tell you with my kid.
Have fun with your children.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody's like the EJ guy. You know, I was actually honestly thinking about starting another channel called the EJ guy. But I thought, too late now. What would you? My question was, would you do a scoop? No, because actually, the time involved in doing the scoops, you would be better off buying a GS bonnet. I did it for myself because I don't have the money to actually do it, and I wanted to see if it was even possible. But the time that was required to do it, you would be better off buying one. You'd be better off buying a GS bonnet, really. Value for money, that's the smarter option. Some things I do because I don't have the money to buy the other stuff. I do it because I've got the skills to do it.
Yeah, Ford and Holden parts are stupid prices most of the time.
How many cars have you had, Peter? Somebody's asking.
50, I think.
I believe my number's up at around 70-something.
No, I haven't had that many. I'm on like 48, 50, around there.
Yeah, at least you're smart enough to keep the last few.
Well, I got sick of, as I was saying here before, I got sick and tired of looking at cars I'd sold a few years down the track because I missed them and then finding they'd doubled.
Yeah, I've seen that a couple of times.
And it just drives me. It was like your hardtop, isn't it? I mean, it's easier, it's cheaper to keep them, particularly on Club Reds because it's negligible in terms of cost. And then you've got your insurance, which is butter all with Shannon. So, the XW, for example, is $200 a year in reg and insurance. Because I've got a few cars, they do a sort of a package deal. So if you've got more than 7 cars, then it's probably around $200, but it's
you can get laid up insurance with Shannon's too.
Yeah, I know.
That's pretty good.
And that's what's on the XC. Because I've got that all insured. So everything in the garage is insured. Because if I lose it, I'll be screwed.
Do you watch Howard Astle? Yes, I watch Howard Astle. I don't mind the way he does it, where he films a week's worth of stuff and then just slaps together. That seems like a smarter way to do things, actually. Now that I've seen the inside of a roof of an XD, I'm glad we never landed on it. Yeah, there's not much to the underside of a roof of an XD. It's a skeleton. It's this wimpy little frame that runs around the edges and one brace that goes down across the side, and that's it. If you land upside down on those, you're pretty well good as dead. However, I did buy an XD Femont gear years ago that had been rolled by a guy who tried to commit suicide, and he was unsuccessful in his attempt. There was this road that had a 9-meter drop off one side, and it was an embankment. He just drove straight off the edge trying to kill himself. And he had a 1,500-piece toolkit in the boot, and it went everywhere, he said. And I actually remember getting the car and finding a 3/4 drive ratchet, which was stuck in a door that was shut. So the body twisted enough to open up the upper frame of the A-pillar and then close back again on a spanner. And yeah, it was, and that ended up, that motor had stuffed bearings and all sorts of stuff. I worked out the motor mounts broke, but the engine was still running while it was upside down because the throttle cable was still hooked up. And the shock towers had huge dents in them because the engine slapped from side to side. The tail shaft spat out of the car. There was a perfect imprint of the battery on the rear quarter panel. It would have been spectacular to watch, but weirdly enough, the floor pan and the chassis was dead straight. The only thing that broke off was the right front wheel.
God.
Oh, it was, and the car went off a 9-meter drop. I reckon he said it rolled 6 times, and all he had was a cut ear.
Is he still with us?
Yeah, like I said, he had a failed suicide attempt.
No, at least he's all right then.
Yeah, he didn't want to commit suicide after that.
Probably would have bought a taxi ticket after that gig.
Yeah, I was like, seriously? He walked away from it with a just a little cut in the top corner of his ear.
Gee.
And yeah, it would have been spectacular. Even the tail shaft was straight. That spat out too. It would have been like one of those full-blown movie-style rolls where it just, as it rolled, it just exploded.
Mm.
But I scored heaps of parts out of that car. That was the best $200 I ever spent. Motor, trans, got that money back. The C4 was somehow good. I sold the brakes out of it because they were new, had 4 wheels and tyres. All that happened to the tyres was the rims had GXL wheels on it too, or the XD Femmet wheels, and it just impacted a ton of dirt into the rims. I took it to a tyre shop. They popped the beads, dug the dirt out, pumped them back up. They were fine. Nothing was really wrong with the driveline of that car at all. I even had the exhaust put on an XB Falcon. I think Peter Anderson has the best mustache. Yeah, it's pretty good. You could sweep floors with that bad boy.
Wooden broom.
What's the largest and most difficult repair or damage you've done to a car? Well, it wasn't actually a rust repair. It was a crash damage. And it was a BA Falcon Typhoon. And it was in a crash shop. And it got rear-ended hardcore. It had $18,000 worth of damage on it. The car was insured 26. And the chassis rail on the rear rail went down and then back up. So it had a zigzag in it. And the tail light was up against the rear wheel arch, or at least bits of it were. So the tail light housing was crushed up against. I replaced the entire left chassis rail, the entire boot floor, saved the quarter panel somehow, straightened that and heat shrunk it, put a whole new upper boot channel in, a beaver panel support, and the whole back of the car. It was a complete rebuild. It took us weeks, about 2 weeks, I think. XD's bend on a jack. Yes and no. All cars bend on a jack. Yeah, the guy's still alive. Like I said, it failed suicide attempt. He didn't do it. Cutting an ear is... I'm just impressed that he actually walked away from it, actually, considering how absolutely destroyed the car was. Incredible. I can't believe there's still 75 people watching after an hour and 13 minutes.
Yeah, I'm going to have to split because I'm going to go and sit down with my kid.
Have family time?
Yeah, it's late, but...
Yeah, it is 11:20.
I said I would before, and of course I've been on the internet all night. So I'll talk to you after, so thanks very much.
Yeah, well, everybody enjoyed it. I hope they heard you. I think they can.
No. Hopefully they didn't.
I bet they did.
Righto, Graham.
All
I'll
right.
see you soon.
All right, be good.
Bye.
Yeah. So for the rest of you, you're still here, and he's gone off to have family time. 11:50. Yeah, Super Troopers. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. I didn't get it. I didn't set a notification for. I didn't even know how to do live streams until like 10 minutes before I started this. So, yeah, Pete's gone. He's going to have a life. But yes, I see Terrence. You pop up in my comments quite regularly. So it's just you, me, and you guys now. Is it hard to maintain cash flow with long-term work? Not really, but that's why you have more than one job on the go, so you can chop and change between cars. How do you rate FG turbos? Very expensive, but royally fast. Ooh, let's just move you up here. Whoops, and we're too. It's actually much easier on a laptop than I thought.
You're welcome.
Oh, yeah. Ooh. I don't really know how long a live stream's supposed to be, really. I'm not live streaming for 6 years. Imagine that.
What, Abigail grew up in the background?
Talking about BA Falcons, is there much of a technique change between welding repairs into modern cars? Not really. The welding is still all the same, but modern cars, you get, when you take a car in a crash shop that's in 2006 and newer, you have to have repair procedures, which are manufacturer specs, and they tell you how many spot welds and how to repair and the techniques. So you pretty much get a how-to guide, but welding is still the same. I found drilling out high-strength steel to be death to a spot weld drill bit. And actually drilling out rust kills them pretty quick too. Yeah, New Zealand. 67 Chrysler all day. Nice. No, high tensile steel skins. No, not really. They're modern cars have a different steel makeup too. That's why they can be thinner but still be as strong. So a welder will blast through them a bit faster than you think. I do like modern cars. Lovely, lovely hair. It's weird looking at myself. So pretty. But it's better than last night. I spent all night rebuilding the EJ instrument cluster.
Is that what you doing last week?
All right. Hugelo. I think that's what your name is. I have no idea. Yeah. Rental here in Adelaide is insane.
I'm flying past it right now.
I love swap meets. I love them so much. I try to get to as many as I can, but I never seem to know when they're on. Car shows, I go to the All Ford Day, but only when I happen to be free. But I love swap meets. Give me a swap meet any day. If there was one on every weekend, I'd go every weekend. I really would. Yeah, housing market in Adelaide, it's impossible to find a rental at the moment. It's not uncommon to have. I know a few people who have had hundreds of applications to rentals and not got a single one. It's insane. If you happen to own a rental, you're laughing, giggling like a schoolgirl. Just talk about houses for 5 seconds. I do notice the numbers of people watching are starting to drop off.
Well, it is almost midnight.
Yeah. When do you plan to have the EJ finished? Is there a day? I plan to have the EJ finished as soon as money allows. I have a stack of stuff off being re-chromed at the moment and repolished, and the trims are being done. So the door trims are off being made. They're going to be 2 months wait. I sent off another stack of stuff to be re-chromed. That's another 2 months wait. Stuff I've currently got is still a month away. And obviously there's a wait on things from Rare Spares and a few things. No, I did not find a NASCO clock for the EJ. I don't really care. I don't want to have a $2,000 clock in my dashboard for it. No real. I don't. That's not something I need. Swap meet is like a shop and bar. But yeah, housing market is the same. Queensland, yep. 2 a.m. here in New Zealand. Wow. Don't you have anything better to do? EJ needs Webbers. Putting them on a grey motor might be difficult because I don't think you'd find the manifold to go with it. Oh, you think you're funny, don't you? Commenting.
Hilarious.
You think you're so funny.
I shouldn't be using the chocolate if I want to buy one of those.
Do I have any experience filling Valiants? No, but I assume they're all the same. Rust is the same no matter what car it is. Just cut it out and fix it. Yeah, but you can buy a lot of stuff for Valiants, or Dodges, as you like to say, because the early stuff is the same as American stuff. Wife trolling stream. Yes, she did. Housing market is here in Victoria is all screwed. Yeah, I think it might be Australia-wide. It is absolutely insane. If you have a house, it's gone in 10 seconds. If you've got a rental, hang on to it. Sleep would be good, but yeah. It's like, oh no, it's fine. It's fine. Well, when the numbers start dropping off, then I'll get off. They suddenly go down to nothing. Well, there goes that. But this was good. I might do one every now and again. Still can't believe there's 60 of you guys.
59, I'm one of them.
I didn't take my cars out in the rain. Am I doing yes and no. If your car is... I've found it's not the rain, it's the grime on the road that does cars in. Do I think Peter Anderson looks like Ron Jeremy? If I squint really hard, maybe. Blue eyes. No, it's good to not wreck your cars. I mean, an old car is not as enjoyable in the rain, so I wouldn't. That's why you have a daily driver. You can drive that in the rain. But do remember, the cars are not going to break after 5 minutes. They survived probably 30 years of every conceivable weather condition you could think of, and took a long time to rust away, so it's neither here nor there. I'm not going to try and win a show and shine with EJ. I don't know. I've never thought about it, but maybe I should try. I'll probably take it to, as soon as it's done, I'll probably take it to the old Holden Day or something. Then I'll have a bunch of old people who like old Holdens and say, "Oh, it's not the right colour." Yeah, I don't know what it's like in New Zealand. I wouldn't care if somebody told me not to drive the grass. No, that grass was dead. Those 2 track marks, not me. It's the 2 animals that walk backwards and forwards in that one spot. Yeah, initially me and Peter were trying to get a live stream together with the 2 of us together on the one screen in the same chat, but we couldn't quite figure it out. I believe you need to have special programs and stuff. Do I work every day? I try to. Considering I'm a one-man show, I don't get endless hours done, but I end up at work nearly every day. Very rarely am I not there. But a lot of people turn up for visits, but they always turn up before 12, and I'm never there at 12, like before 12 in the morning, because I usually do from 11 o'clock till 8 o'clock at night. I prefer those hours. For my P-plate car, I own a 1986 XH Falcon Ute. Oh, nice. Nothing wrong with that. Except if you want to try and get doors, they can only come from an XH, because despite XF doors looking the same, the actual catch in the door is different on an XH. Whereas XF's, the little latch is bolted to the back of the door, where an XH, it's actually part of it, and it's got an E-series lock in the side of it. How long does it take from editing a video to post to YouTube? Are they monetized videos? Yeah, I hit 1,000 subscribers and I'm monetized, so I can put ads in, and I do get the money from that. It depends what I do in the video. If I don't do any time lapsing, is editing, that takes a bit of time, but not heaps. I could probably pump out a video in an hour from taking it off the camera to being ready to go. Don't be afraid to do YouTube if you want to. I think I strongly recommend it. Once you hit 1,000 subscribers, then you can be monetized. and put ads in. I know I put ads in all of my videos, but that's because it's not a bad source of income. Well, it's not a good one source of income, but it's something. Yeah, when you get an XF door and put an XH door next to it, they look the same, but they're not. Anyway, I own 3 XA coupes, including a GT. I had an XA coupe, and it was a Superbird. Commented before, I also have a 220 kilo AU. Yeah, I had a 220 AU. That was a Rebel. My mate who has, if you look at my videos, I have one which is fixing rust in AU. That is a 200 AU XR8. And that car has a 347 stroker in it. It's worked up. It's absolute nut. He spent like 12 grand on the motor, not including buying the motor. Well, that's a Superbird with 83 Ks on the clock. That's not bad. Nothing to sneeze at. Now the numbers are starting to drop. People are getting tired and going to bed. I think I might wrap this up at an hour and a half. This laptop's getting a bit hot in my lap. Well, it's actually on another laptop to keep it cool.
I think I even have all my laptops here.
Hope the cook's school stuff going good and the kids aren't playing up too much. I don't quite know what that means, but I guess that's okay. Unless I've missed something. Turn 2 pages and missed something. Yeah, I reckon I'll wrap this up at about an hour and a half, so in about 4 minutes' time. So if you've got any last questions, sing out. Almost got my hands on RP83. Made sold on me. Yeah, I don't think much of the RP83s. I think they're a bit of a something to make purists happy. Never been to a tractor pool. I don't think they're a thing here in Adelaide much. We are using a HP laptop with a Ryzen 7 in it, whatever the hell that means. It was on sale. Was starting on YouTube scary? No, not really. Just film it, share it, and get it out there. And prepare to be insulted a few times. Being serious about that. What's your favorite paint code, color, name? Quite fond of Wild Violet. I don't know what the paint code is. XY color. I think it's also an XA color as well. Yeah, I'd say that one. Quite like purples and pinks. Bit of a strange color, like. Oh yeah, it's got the same name. But yeah, I think I might wrap this up again. Yeah, like I say, 40 times at the same time. I think I'll wrap this up. So you got any last questions? Get them in. Get them in now, because I'm going to shut this down in a second. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, you got to get videos with content, and if they happen to get caught by the right thing, they'll do really well. If that Landau that was 40 grand is down to 30 grand, it's getting cheaper. Yes, do. If you're going to start one, please do. If you're going to restore an old Holden, I'd like something to watch. Let's make some videos. We've been too. Don't be scared. Just film it and see what happens. I would also suggest starting off being not in front of the camera. Film what you're looking at, if that makes sense. That's the best way to start if you're too scared of being on the camera. And that's just a couple of hints. Oh yeah, that's where the end stream button is down there. We got 30 seconds to go, guys. See if there's any last questions. The last 10 seconds. Oh well. We'll wrap it up here, chaps, and I'll probably do another one at some point. Might put out a little reminder next time when I'm going to go live. That might make things easier. But we'll catch you on the next one, and I'll put out a video. I'll edit a video tonight of painting the EJ, so you got something to watch tomorrow, eh? Would you recommend in Adelaide to manualise the C4? The guy who did my trans was pretty good. You have to watch that video. But anyway, I'll catch you next time, chaps.